TV News, it's Earth Week at CSU. We show you what CSU is doing to inform students about being Earth-friendly. Plus, is there a possible merger between Conference USA and the Mountain West? Reno Boyd will tell us in sports. All that and more, you're watching CTV News.
Produced for students, by students. For Channel 11, this is CTV News.
Welcome to CTV News. I'm Katie Spencer.
And I'm Hannah Tran. Thanks for joining us tonight.
After Metro State College of Denver was denied the right to change their name to Denver State University, Metro finally agreed on a new name that the state has approved. The school in Denver will now be known as Metro State University of Denver, only swapping out the word college for university.
CS Unity, a CSU National Day of Service, will be taking place this Saturday. Thousands of CSU students, alumni, and friends will lend a hand this weekend in servicing the community. The day was started to promote bonding among students and build strong relationships between CSU and the Fort Collins community. This year's Day of Service includes prom decorations for TGIF and yard work and cleanup maintenance for various community agencies and parks.
CSU always prides itself on being green, and this week is no exception. CSU is a little greener this week, and it's not just because of the changing leaves. It's Earth Week here at CSU, and Tim Broderick, along with his green team, is highlighting all that CSU does.
Because there's so much going on here at the university dealing with green or sustainability that it's hard to see it all. And this is a week where you can really dive in, you can really find out about all the things that are going on around campus.
Events from now until next week display what the power of being green is.
We have set up, as you can see behind you, are these energy generating bikes. What happens is when you pedal these exercise bikes, instead of taking energy, they actually push energy back to the system. Right now they're hooked up to the Laurie Student Center, and all of the energy we're generating today is being pumped into there.
Earth Week at CSU isn't only about what the university is doing to be green, but teaching students their part.
Try concentrating on recycling a little bit more. I mean, if you could ride your bike, the weather's starting to get better now. Just the entry-level simple actions, I think a lot of students could probably jump on board with this week.
The main goal of Earth Week?
It's a time to recognize what we here at CSU believe in and sort of step back and say the planet's an amazing thing, and it's something we need to work with to create a better future for our world.
To get more information on Earth Week, you can visit green.colostate.edu.
A $50,000 fine has been issued to Frontier Airlines for the mistreatment of a quadriplegic CSU student. The United States Department of Transportation fined the airlines for violating federal regulations concerning passengers with disabilities. Frontier failed to notify John Morris that he was responsible for supplying equipment needed to secure him in his seat for a flight from Denver to Dallas. Morris was kicked off the airline by the pilot when flight attendants refused to allow Morris to use seatbelt extensions and offered no alternatives.
Story, JetBlue's lack of planning cost one Colorado man his last moments with his mom. A canceled flight caused Bob Gontarek to miss his final moments with his mother on her deathbed after she'd been battling cancer. The flight was canceled, after a flight attendant had exceeded their 14-hour work limit and the airline had no one to replace. According to Gontarek, the airline paid for his flight and sent him a $25 voucher, but still charged him a $75 rebooking fee.
1 year ago today, the University of Northern Colorado's Greek community mourned the loss of one of their own. Ross Higuchi of Aurora died from injuries to the head after falling from Delta Tau Delta Fraternity House in Greeley. A memorial was held tonight in Aurora. Fraternities across the nation have dedicated this week to Higuchi, naming it Higuchi Week. Ross Higuchi was 18 years old.
Hip-hop is defined as a relationship between the urban youth and the environment.
When I think of hip-hop, I think a way of putting poetry to music.
When hip-hop dance groups come together collectively, they're known as dance crews.
Cruise Control is happening at the Lincoln Center this year. It's our third time doing this event.
We have a 7 dance crew lineup. 4 of them have made appearance on America's Best Dance Crew on MTV. It's a completely interactive show. Anything and everything could happen.
Cruise Control at the Lincoln Center this Friday, 7 p.m. Tickets are free, but are first come, first serve, so call and reserve yours today. 970-221-6730. Presented by ASAP.
Welcome back. Police are resuming their search for a child that went missing in 1979. Eaton Patz, who went missing at the age of 6, was the first face to ever appear on the side of a milk carton. Patz was also the reason for the creation of National Missing Child Day, a day that President Ronald Reagan had at the time declared on May 25th in Patz's honor. Investigators are re-examining evidence as well as searching the basement of a handyman that was linked to the disappearance of the boy in one of the most high-profile cases in New York history. Well, the weather outside was warm, but a little bit cloudy.
You know, and as long as it's not cold, I think I can handle those clouds.
Yep.
But we're now joined by Michael McNulty, who has our weather forecast.
And Michael, what can we expect to see in the next few days?
It's a bit clearer right now than we saw earlier today, but there's still a chance for some moisture before midnight. Most of the northern Front Range was in the 60s this afternoon. There's cloud cover all across the state with areas of rainfall and even some snow in the high country. The mountains are in a winter weather advisory right now through tonight and are expecting 3 to 6 inches for the next 12 hours. Most of that's going to be above 9,000 feet, so more of the higher elevations. That threat for severe weather is well out of Colorado. It's extended down to Texas, up to Iowa, so it should be a quiet night for Fort Collins, besides some winds and maybe some wet roads. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful. The sun's going to come out, and temperatures will rise. Then this weekend's going to be pushing 80. Saturday will be mostly sunny with light breezes, and then Sunday will be clear. Monday and Tuesday will also brush the 80s. It's going to look like summer weather at the beginning of the week, but then cloud cover's coming back. Later next week, temperatures are going to drop for some more possible showers. We'll have a great weekend with those warm temperatures. Hannah?
All right, thanks, Michael. The first year is almost complete for a 3-year nationwide competition. CSU and 14 other universities are part of the EcoCar competition. Selected students must turn a donated 2013 Chevrolet Malibu into a hybrid car to lower greenhouse gas emissions. CSU's idea is exclusively unique, an idea highly valuable during this present time. In the EcoCar competition, there's one innovation that distinguishes these CSU students from 15 other universities.
Well, we're the only school doing hydrogen, so we decided on a fuel type and how we're going to run the car. So we decided on hydrogen and a large battery pack.
This is the device where the chemical reaction happens.
Hydrogen fuel is compressed gas. Hydrogen plus oxygen creates a reaction that produces electricity and only water as a byproduct.
So hydrogen as a vehicle fuel is still in its early stages. You're not going to be able to go out to a gas station or whatever and fill up with hydrogen.
Over half of our petroleum comes overseas. When things get rocky there, alternative fuel becomes a trend also seen during the oil embargo of the 1970s.
Gasolines didn't have gas to dispense to customers or only on certain days. And so as a result, we got really interested in renewable energy.
But as 2 decades passed, interest waned. Prices and availability of oil became stable until recently.
Maybe about 5 years ago, when gasoline prices suddenly spiked to $3 a gallon, and everybody started saying, what do we do? What do we do? We need something different.
You do stand up.
And these CSU students responded. They say they're ahead of the game, but there remains challenges yet to be faced.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but it's definitely the fuel of the future, and we're going to be plugging into that future.
This competition was first announced April of last year. During years 2 and 3, students will rebuild the Malibu based off of the foundations that they came up with this year. And now we're going to send it over to Melanie Rose with our most recent celebrity gossip. Melanie.
Welcome back to Celebrity Countdown with yours truly, Melanie Rose, and my guest today, Ryan Green.
Thank you for having me on again.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. Now today we are going to talk about yet again Kim Kardashian.
Ugh.
I know you don't like her. She's not your favorite.
Not my favorite.
But I just couldn't resist talking about this story. Okay. So she apparently is running for mayor of Glendale, California.
Did you say mayor?
Mayor.
Wait,
yeah.
Is this confirmed? Did she actually say that?
Well, her representatives have not denied it yet, so I think it's definitely a possibility. I don't know, but
why does she think she can be mayor? Why does she think that?
Well, the reason behind it is Glendale is an Armenian community, and she's Armenian, And so she said on her sister's reality show, well, since I'm Armenian, I might as well run for mayor.
That sounds like Kardashian
But the
logic.
thing is, she's never even worked in an office before. You need education, you need experience.
She's never worked anywhere before.
Exactly.
She has no political background, no job background. And she's running for...
Yeah.
I don't like her. I do not like you. I'm about done with her.
You know, I think everyone's done with her. And, you know, she's single. I guess she has nothing else better to do. I don't know. And
whoa, there is Kanye.
Oh, that's true.
So.
I mean, I'm Polish, but that doesn't mean I'm going to run for a Polish community anytime soon.
You should. Apparently that's all you need to do.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. We don't know for sure if she's going to. But I just honestly think it's another excuse for a reality show.
Of course it's a publicity stunt. That's all she's known for.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. If she ran, would you vote for her?
No, I would vote for an old broom before I wanted her to be mayor.
Yeah, and the mayor right now said he would gladly love her to run for mayor along with him because he wants a spicy campaign. And
that guy's smart. If he runs against Kim Kardashian, no one's going to vote for her. So he is getting that's a smart play by him. I respect that.
You never know though, because she does have a lot of fans. I mean, her family has made quite the business off of just their life.
Exactly, off of what? Just, Kim, please stick to what you don't do.
Yeah.
And so just don't be mayor, please.
We'll see what happens. But all right, well, thank you for being my guest.
Thank you for having me.
And after this, you'll be doing Sports with Reno.
That's right, I will.
University is committed to expanding access to education. Today, that includes online learning. CSU brings faculty and programs to students around the state and around the world. With flexibility to earn a degree online from a world-class university, and the ability to balance education with work and family. Learn more at succeedwithcsu.org.
Welcome back to sports. I'm Reno Boyd. This is Ryan Green, and we're going to talk about the possible conference merger. A while back, we heard back in fall that Conference USA might be merging with the Mountain West Conference. Then a few days ago, CBS reports that it's not going to happen, but the UNLV president came out and said this about the possible merger. He says, we're looking at alternatives on how to actually form a new conference arrangement. We've looked at several different configurations, and we will decide on what is best for all of our members. We're proceeding, and nothing has come apart. What do you have to say about this?
Again, it seems like we've heard this before. I feel like I'm in that movie Groundhog Day where I just like, oh, they're going to do it. Oh, no, they're not. Oh, they're going to do it. No, they're not. And so, like you said, 2 days ago, the report was they're not going to do it. Today, they are going to do it. So 2 days from now, they could be not doing it again. So it's really, I really don't know what to make of it, and I don't know if I should make anything of it because it might not even happen.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the one thing is that something does need to happen with these two teams. They're going to have to pick up a team if they want to stay around. So if you look at the teams that will be left after all the conference realignment, here's what we're looking at here. And the one thing to note is that the total record of all these teams together last year
not great.
Was an 84-118, which is pretty gross.
Yeah. And so what they're essentially doing here is taking two bad conferences and making one big, just awful conference. And I think the only reason for merging these right now is just to save both conferences. I think if they stayed separate, both of these conferences wouldn't exist in a few years because the teams are that bad. And so just putting these teams together and having numbers, maybe that's why they're trying to keep a conference alive.
Yeah, and the one thing to note there too is that Fresno State, Hawaii, and Nevada will be joining the Mountain West Conference. But even with that, they're still going to have to add some more teams if they want to stay around.
Well, exactly, because those teams aren't replacing Boise State, San Diego State, and the other TCU. Those teams are fantastic, and so you're going to need better teams than that.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not that attractive of a conference.
No, it's not.
All right, well, that's all we got for you. Remember that the spring game is this Saturday, so make it out to Hughes and support the Rams. But until then, let's send it back to you, Hannah and Katie.
Thanks, guys. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you tonight.
To get news tips, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter at CTV11.
Thanks for joining us and have a great night, CSU. We'll leave you with a shot of beautiful CSU campus.